get to Spain? Well, then bring Spain home
with an amazing Spanish seafood paella party.
Spanish rice simmered to perfection in homemade shellfish stock.
Rounded out with all the classic paella flavors.
Trust us, folks. This dish is one for the record books.
It is.
It is.
It's amazing.
It is a paella party to beat them all.
Yes.
I know.
And you have to do it outside because that's how you cook paella.
Exactly. So we've got our nice, big, gigantic 20-inch paella pan. I've got a link to this. This is a party all written
and that
all
is
over.
hot.
That is hot. We've got it on medium-high heat, and that was 3/4 of a cup of extra virgin olive oil. If you can do Spanish, even better. So this, you can see, this is a stand that has 2 burners on it. It makes making paella so easy, but you can do this in the kitchen as well. You just got to be careful. Now we got this on really high. So now
that is some shrimp.
This is a pound of shrimp.
I'm gonna stand
that
back.
I make sure that I salt and peppered. Make sure it's good and dry because it is not going to take long in here. And we're just going to let this cook very quickly.
Nice. Look at that.
It's beautiful.
Y'all, we're luckily it's only April, so it's only 100 degrees
here in Texas. Yeah.
No, it's
actually
all right.
It's a lovely day.
It is great.
You'll have to be a little careful because if you are cooking outside, you may have wind to deal with, and that can affect the flames. And you just gotta. There are things that you can do to kind of protect yourself from that.
Exactly. And wear an apron.
And wear an apron.
A nice shirt.
Definitely wear an apron. Or if you don't mind not getting burned.
All right. Are you ready?
Okay. Now this is Monkfish.
You want to scooch
Yeah.
in
So
there?
this is. It's just you need like a white fish. This is. I get this from Wild Fork, which here in the States is easy to find. It's super. It's not fishy tasting. And what we did is they come in fillets. I just sliced them up, and then I salt and peppered. Again, make sure that they are.
Look at those.
What was I going to say? Oh, make sure they're good and dry.
The thing I love about monkfish is that it takes on the flavors of what you're cooking it with.
It does.
Oh,
it does.
It's delicious.
So good. And like we said, you don't have to worry about getting it super, super overcooked because we're going to finish it off. We're going to do the sofrito. So now we've got, this is 2 red onions that I've finely diced, and then we've got 2 medium onions that I finely diced.
Look at that. We're having a party.
We are having a party. And just kind of, stand back, and if you don't want it, if it's so hot that you're starting to flame, then
turn it down.
I mean, we've been accused of flaming before, but you don't want to hurt yourself. So anyway, this is going to go for just a few minutes until it gets nice and tender, and we just keep on. Okay, so now you see how this is nice. The smell is just heavenly.
Y'all, our neighbors are like looking over the fence.
I know, coming over. They're like, we're coming over.
All right, now we've got some garlic
now that's 6 cloves of garlic that we minced, and this doesn't take long.
Yeah, this is like 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's quick. Now again, this is party style. So this is a 20-inch pan. You can also do it in a 16-inch pan. That's like half a party.
And I love that we're using our fridge finally out here.
I know. Okay.
Instead of for just
so now we're going to add tomatoes.
Look at these, you guys.
Yeah. Now we're making sofrito, which is a critical part of really good Spanish paella. And the way we did this, I just got some beefy some Roma tomatoes, cut them in half, and you want to get the pulp. So you just get a box grater. You just get a box grater and you grate them, and the skin stays left behind. It's so easy, and you're going to need about 1.5 cups of this. And so we're going to continue cooking this. I'm going to stir that. You want to season as you go. So I'm going to hit this with a little pinch of salt, several pinches because we got a lot here.
You need some flavor.
Cook this until a lot of the liquid is gone.
What do you call it? Like a
it's kind of jammy. It's kind of like a tomato jam. And speaking of jam, we are jamming along. Okay, so
that looks like some jam.
It does. It's very jammy.
All right, you ready
so
for the
that's
rice?
been going about 3 to 4 minutes now. The most critical part is our rice. This is a Bomba rice, which is rice specifically used for paella. It's short grain. It starts out very small, and it just absorbs the liquid and turns into this incredible paella.
Wow.
So now let's add another key ingredient, which is our Spanish paprika. And I've got 2 teaspoons of here. Right. Go ahead. Yeah. And we're just going
everywhere.
Oh, the smell is off the charts. Okay. So what we're doing is we're toasting this, and you don't want this to go too long. You do not want that paprika to start to burn. Isn't that looking amazing? So now Right over here, I made some homemade shellfish stock. I've got the recipe, a link to it. It makes all the difference, but you can use just regular store-bought seafood stock if you want. Anyway, it takes quite a bit. This is enough for a 20-inch pan, and go ahead and just pour it on in there. Yeah, and I heated it. It just needs to be warm. You don't want it cold because then it's going to cool off the pan too much, and it's going to feel like, wow, that's a lot of stock, but it's going to be perfect, and it's going to just rice is going to absorb it, and it's just going to be heaven. Yeah,
move
just
slow.
Just be careful at this point.
And now we have this amazing saffron broth, which is basically some saffron that Chris put into this. What is this called? Like
it's a mortar and pestle. It's 2 teaspoons of it's 1 teaspoon of saffron, and the smell is off the charts.
And then a couple of tablespoons.
I ground it, and then I put a couple of tablespoons of my warm seafood stock.
And I put down some cardboard because you don't want to ruin your patio.
You may get a little splattering or a little spillage. So now what we're going to do is, I know this is amazing, we're going to bring this to a boil, and then once it comes to a boil, then we're going to bring the temperature down to just like a nice simmer. Okay, so look at this. It's looking beautiful. So now the rice, it's starting to be very visible. Let me just kind of recap what we've done.
Yeah, while I do this.
Yeah, so we've got about 15 little neck clams. We've got about 15 mussels, and we're just putting those in hinge side down. So when they open up, they're going to open up to the world. And but anyway, we brought that to a boil, and then you're going to want to definitely season that at that point with some salt, and it's going to need to be almost too salty because this rice will absorb that, and the rice needs that seasoning.
I'm making a design.
So we let this, make it beautiful. So we let this go for, and then we turn, if you want it to be a decent simmer, and not a rolling boil. So we turn the middle burner down just a little bit. Now so once you get to this point, when it's still bubbly, that's when, and you remember, no stirring, because we want to get that kind of crust feeling on the bottom. We don't want to burn it, but we definitely want that crust feeling. You can also, it's a good idea to every minute or so get some hot pads and just gently turn it, because again, you want it all to cook evenly, and by doing that is going to ensure that's going to happen. So now we're going to continue letting this simmer.
Yes.
After probably about, I don't know, say another 10 minutes, these should start opening up. They're already starting to do that. Then we're going to nestle in the shrimp and the monkfish.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are
they're opening.
Starting to open up. So we're going to go ahead.
I'm going to just kind of use my fingers.
Yeah, these are
already cooked.
Yeah. So now we're just going to distribute this around. Once you get it in there, you can make it look pretty.
I can help.
And to just finish cooking these babies off.
Oh, this monkfish, you guys. This is so good. Here, let's watch it over here.
What?
Your plate's in the way. Let me get it in. There you go. I need room. This is an art form here.
Okay. So now we're going to finish this off. You don't want it, at this point, you don't want it so hot that it's going to be burning your rice. That would be a disaster. But it's got to be hot enough that it makes that amazing Socarrat crust on the bottom. Now, if you feel like you need a little help with, I'll see, like our mussels and our clams are definitely opening up.
They're coming out.
If they're not doing it say within a few minutes after you put them in there, I'd say after 5 minutes, then you can get a big piece of foil and just cover that, and that will help steam them, and then they're just going to open up and be happy. We're getting so close. Okay, so this is beautiful. The simmering has almost stopped. Almost all of our clams and our mussels are opening. Just remember, if you get to the point when you're done and anything hasn't opened, then you need to discard that mussel or that clam.
And now, do I turn this off? Do I keep it going?
What you can do, we're going to let this go for just a couple more minutes, but you're going to start to hear a sort of a crackling, and that's when you know that Socarrat at the bottom is starting to form a crust. If you're starting to smell toast like burnt, then you want to immediately get the heat off. And but I can already tell that we're really pretty much there. So we're going to let this go for just a couple more minutes, and then we're going to take the heat off, and we're going to cover it with a kitchen towel for 10 minutes. That's going to continue to steam it, continue to help those all open up, and it'll help it kind of release from the pan. We're so close.
It's so exciting. Then party.
let this paella party begin.
I can't even wait.
I mean, this is literally is for like 20 people, and it's just Wesley and me. So
those
look at that.
opened
Beautiful.
nicely.
So again, if anything didn't open, just get discarded. Now you really want to finish it off, and we're going to give it some color. We're going to put some. You want to get the parsley?
Oh, sure, yeah.
We're going to do
I'm like, what am I doing?
some fresh lemon, and I love to do just a squeeze, a pop of acid over the top is beautiful.
That is a party.
Chopped parsley adds such a nice color to it.
It's just you, me, and Eb.
I know. Speaking of Eb, so Eb comes out and he loves to. He smells the the goodness. He lays there and he's our. In case you don't know, he's now our little tripod.
Oh, he has cancer in his leg.
But we got it, so he's good, and he's as happy as can be. And we are as happy as we can be because we are about to have paella.
All right, come on.
So I'm going, all right, here's the moment of truth. Now you're going to want to do just a little bit of
there we go.
scrapage.
Oh.
Like
Oh,
and you
yes,
get that
Chris.
seed kind of at the bottom.
Oh, that's like a caramelization.
Yep, it just kind of caramelizes, and if you have that is really wonderful. Look at that. And you'll know it's.
I'm dying,
If it
y'all.
smells like it's burnt, it's burnt. If it doesn't, and you get some of this,
there we go.
there's that crunchy part.
There it is. Oh, that is called what's it called?
Socarrat.
Socarrat. Oh, yes.
Yeah, scrape that up.
Oh,
You want to get
there we go.
that
Some Socarrat.
yes. Oh, and the rice is so perfectly done.
I'm dying.
So again, we always have to say this. We are not Spanish, although we feel like we are because we love the culture and we love the country and we love the food.
That's Socarrat.
But if you see, like, guys, I am from Spain. I grew up making, look at that, see this?
I'm dying.
To tell us what we did wrong, tell us how we can make it even better.
Or tell us what we did right.
Or even better, tell us what we did right. You guys, this is a party. This is so much fun. What I love about it is everyone can just watch you make it, and then they get to eat
I'm
it.
going to go for the rice first. Enough is enough, Chris.
I know. Stop your talking. I got some of that monkfish. Here we go.
Oh my God. Y'all, the flavor coming out of this is ridiculous. Oh, Chris, that monkfish?
Yeah, and it's so tender.
Oh my.
Oh my goodness gracious.
I didn't get a mussel.
Yeah, I gotta have some of this clam.
Oh, you guys, I'm dying. It's a party.
Oh, it is a party. Oh wow, that is so good. Perfectly seasoned. Not too salty, just the right amount of salt.
This is amazing. The flavor is it's distinct. Paella has a distinct flavor, and that is
A distinctly good flavor.
and it is like 1,000,000% Luna proof.
And we're eating outside, you guys. We wish you were here, but come on over. We've got lots left over. Have a
That
paella
was
party.
fun, and we didn't sweat our faces off.
We did a little bit. We've got all of the links to all of this fun equipment that you can get yourself. You can do this in a skillet if you want. It just takes a little bit of practice. But anyway, we love you guys. Make paella. This was so much fun.
It was. Make some paella.
All right, bye.
And then eat it.
Yeah.
Eat it all.
Eat it all. Bye.